Good morning. Dove's helping me build some Lego today. How about that? Right now she's the wrong way around though. But she's certainly interested. She's never been up on this desk before. I think we need to pop you on the floor, Miss Dove. And let's get on with the build. So, we are building, continuing the build of 80107 Spring Lantern Festival. And after last week's stream, I discovered that I hadn't built this little guy. So I have built him up, little lantern carrying fella. And we'll put him off to one side with the other minifigs. Come with this. And we'll start the build. Uh-oh, bits just went absolutely everywhere. And of course these little round bits, so they roll like crazy. That's probably why they went everywhere. That's life, isn't it? Good start. That's okay. And the reason it's okay is because no one's watching right now. So it's fine. Oh, no, I'm wrong. There is actually a viewer. Hello. I have been talking for an hour because I've just finished a train stream. So, better get underway. Just a quick note on the plastic bags. You'll see plenty of these. Should I hide the brand? Yeah, I suppose so. You'll see plenty of these on the stream. I reuse them, so you can see that this is from the previous one. This is today's step. So I don't throw the bags away, so please don't be concerned at the use of plastic and hate me in the chat. Now I'm just going to need the book. So we're building from the book, which is this one. Maybe I'll show you on the high resolution camera. It's a much nicer camera. I need to get a second one of these to show you the Lego things that we're doing. And we're up to step 134. And we'll be doing up to about 219 today. So that's my goal, is to get up to 219. Now, the way I have my desk set up for the train stream is just a tiny bit awkward for running the Lego stream. So I'm just reorganising slightly. I should have done this before. I completely apologise. So I'm going to pop my book over here where you guys can't see it, but I can. So can you just, maybe you can just see the corner. No, you can't quite see the corner of it, but it's close because you can see my hand here. That's where the book is. All right, then, you're going to see that popping around. So this time round, we're going to really make this look quite festive because I can see what's coming up in the step. I should show you guys, I guess. So this is the bit we're going to be building. Ooh, let's make it in focus. This is the bit we're going to be building, so it'll bring up the festive nature of the little festival. So it's quite a big part of the build. It's interesting how much stuff there is in the other book because I guess most of it is happening in this one. So maybe the other book's an alternative build. But anyway, let's get underway. So I can see the chat. Welcome to the person who's viewing. Lovely to have you here. Feel free to say hello in the chat. I'm more than happy to be interactive. Bear in mind that the chat happens several seconds after what you see. So I don't respond right that second. It doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. It just means that we're not there yet. So right now I am constructing some little lily pads. There's 3 of these to make. It's quite an awkward thing to get in there. But they're kind of cool. I really do need a higher resolution, closer focusing camera than this one because this old webcam of mine is just a little bit crap. The new one's pretty good. I'm quite happy with the new one. Excuse me looking down all the time, but I kind of need to look to see what I'm doing. We've also got a couple of leaves, which I'm just trying to figure out where they go. Okay, they go over on the side where the bench is. And it looks like they go onto here. Same with this one over on here. Except he goes on the back of that by the looks of it. It looks like it. Okay, and the little lily pads go on some of the visible flowers over here, which certainly makes a degree of sense. Where does the other one go? Well, they don't have to go on the flowers, do they? But they are. No, they're not. They're actually not. No, I'm making a mistake there. I don't do that at all. I want to put them like that. I did not have the kit oriented correctly. That's okay. Alright, let's go on to the next step then. So, step 135. And I pre-organise into the bags after the completion of each week's stream to get for the next week's part of the build ready. We're using these this time around, and I'm just going to reorient this just to make this a little bit more like what I'm looking at on the picture, just to try and figure out where things go so that I get them right. Oops, and in fact, there we go, straight away, getting it wrong. How good's that? Straight away. There we go, now we're right. Well, I think we are anyway. Pull along a couple more over here. These will be foundations for something, I expect. And we shall see what as we progress through the steps. Hope you can hear me okay. Hope you're getting the visuals okay. The stream looks pretty happy. Picked up another person who's joined in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'd love to know who you are because I can't see that in YouTube. So feel free to say hello in the chat. And I'll more than happily chat with you while I build this thing, because it makes the stream more fun for both of us. Now we've got a couple of little palm tree pieces that are going into my lap, because I dropped it. Oh, clever. Anyway, they're going into these. And they seem to be getting pressed all the way in. They're quite awkward, actually. Goodo, done. Now we've got the next step. We're building a tree. So let me just move that out of the way. Move these things over. So we're starting to build the tree. The only downside of working on glass, which is wonderful for making straight joints, is it's, well, let's say it's not so wonderful for controlling round bits of Lego. So that's about as studs not on top as you can get. That thing. That's quite interesting. So that's just the first part of the tree. Going into the next step, we're putting in a bit more of a stem by the looks of it. And we're popping this little fella, it's a hollowed out stud, onto the bottom. Cool. Alright. Now I dare say in the next step we're going to start putting leaves on the tree, because, cheating slightly, I can see the next bag. Oh, I lost someone. It was too boring for somebody. Oh well. That's okay. Someone's gone, oh, there's someone streaming Lego. That's going to be weird. No, they're back. Hello. Welcome back. Okay then. So we, just to cap for the people who are watching, we're building 80107 Spring Lantern Festival. And this is the third week I've been building this one. I build it each week. Just a note that there won't be a stream next Sunday, because next Sunday I'm working on a railway. And I don't think it would be a great idea to build something in the stream on the train. This gets pushed all the way down to the end now. That seems to make sense. Is that the right way up though? No, I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think maybe that goes the other way up. Because if it's going to stand up, it probably needs to be that way. interesting. Not quite sure how this is going to stand up, actually. It must clip into something. Oh, I get it. It's going to go over there and clip into that, probably. But anyway, that's okay. Don't need to second guess these things. We just put it together and we follow the bouncing ball. Bink, 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 bink. So you're welcome to say something in the chat. I'd love to have a chat with you. Popping in the next part of the tree. So we're like this now. And going on to the next steps. We have 3 of those. Okay, so we're going to make another assembly. Let's just pop that aside and pull these to me so I can make the assembly. So we're just going to split this into 3 sets. Should I have... I think that there's actually meant to be 2 of these in here. Cool, I almost missed a step. That would have been bemusing. Alright, now let's get back to separating these out. Oops. Okay, now we're going to make 3 assemblies. It's called an assembly whenever you put a bunch of things together and then you add them in. So in this particular case, we're making 3 of these. So I'll just make the others. Wow. This is actually a bit of a tough assembly to build. Now, this kit's aimed at 8+, and you have to use quite a bit of force to get that in there, so that's an interesting choice for an 8+, I guess. And now the assemblies are going onto this tree. Are they all going onto the bottom? Looks like they're all going onto the bottom one. Wow, this is delicate. Okay, there's that part done. On to the next of our steps. So this tree now gets mounted in, which makes me wonder if maybe one of those shouldn't be on one of the high ones, but let's do that. Let's take the bull by the horns and put one on the high ones just because it might look a little bit better. And it now clips in here. Oh, you can't see that, can you? Because the board's over there. There you go. Whee! Okay, let's leave it the right way up. I can show you like this, or maybe this way would be better. Yeah, cool. You can see what's going on there. Looks like I've got another person who's joined the stream, so welcome along. Just building 80107 Spring Lantern Festival, and currently at step 146, having just completed 145. So this is the 3rd week I've been building this one. Next week there will be a break, and I will stream again the week after, because next week I will not be able to stream because I'm working on a railway. And I don't think Lego and railways mix too well. That said, I'm hoping to stream on my railway stream, which is another story altogether. But I need to get permission from the railway to do that before I even try it, because I don't want either of us to get in the poo. So this is... Can you believe that this is a step by itself? 145. Is that the right piece? That's not the right piece. This is the right piece here. It goes all the way down there. So it's remarkably like the other one we built, except it's a tiny bit different. This is quite a bit of force to get this on here. Come on, in you go. Come on. There we go. It almost sounds like it's breaking when I push that on there. I am quite surprised that they're using this complexity with a kit for an 8-year-old. It's more in the adult territory, I would have thought. Now, I wonder why they didn't just say make 2 of these, because this, from here on in, appears to be the same as the other one. So I'll just separate out the assemblies again, and then we can put them together. So, I don't know if you remember this piece, it's usually a bone. It's usually white. It's always interesting when they reuse bits for other things, and kind of cool. Well, I think it's cool anyway. And I'm guessing since you're watching a grown man play with Lego, that you think it's kind of cool too. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. So if you've just dropped in for a watch and you're not a subscriber, feel free to subscribe. I would certainly appreciate it. More the merrier. And if you're into gaming, over on my other channel, and I can pop a link in the chat if anybody wants that one, I stream playing a train simulator. I hear cats growling at each other somewhere. This is a household full of rescue cats, so it's not that unusual. Okay, and bring the board back over, and this one clips in next to the first one, I'm guessing. Let's turn the page. Yes, it certainly does. So one leans one way and the other one leans the other way. So it ends up like that. It's a nice three-dimensional effect. So I think it's quite cool. Let's bring it round that way so you can actually see it. And we lost a bit of the tree then. All that violent moving. There we go. I must have clipped it on something when I spun it around. All very, very good. Making some underbrush now. Sounds kind of rude, doesn't it? Can I see your underbrush? There we go. It's not rude at all. It's Lego. Stop it. Lego's never rude. Couldn't be. It's not possible. It's not made for adults. So it looks like I've got 9 people now on playback watching, so must have started the stream a little bit late. I'm not sure if you guys can contribute to the chat or not, but you're absolutely welcome to try, and welcome to the 9 of you who are watching on playback. Very cool. If you wanted to skip ahead so it went live, you're not going to miss too much. But you won't know that until you hear this, which means you'd be up to that bit and then you'd go, oh, but I wonder what I'd miss if I skip now. And that's okay. So now we're building a bit more of the tree. That's a very interesting piece. Might even show that on the high-res camera. It's got a little thing sticking out the top. So I don't think I've seen one of those before. I don't know if it's new to Lego, but it's certainly new to me. And on go our leaves. And it's 2 leaves, one on top of the other. And a finishing leaf on top. So we're making this look a little bit jungly. And remember I said that these are probably a foundation for something? They're a foundation for a tree. Now, word to the wise, Lego. Why would you build the tall things and then you have to build things under the tall things? Build the little things on the bottom first. Normally the Lego designers are really clever. Not today. I could rant about that for days, but I won't. Alright, I think we're building pretty much the same thing again, except this time it's got 3 poles, so it's going to be a little bit taller than the other one. But apart from that, I think it's basically the same thing. Oh, it's got different coloured leaves too. Come on. In you go. In you go. You know, I reckon this would be a whole lot easier to do this way. So, Lego instructions. Screw you guys. I'm going home. Because I just reckon that's going to work better. Because now I can push that in there. Did you actually see all that? No, you didn't see all that. Oh, I'm such a wanker. Let me pull these apart so you can see them again. What the instructions have you doing is they have you pushing this stick into here. And then they have you pushing the leaves on. But of course the leaves have a little hole inside. I don't know if you can see that or not. Trying to draw angle. It's actually quite hard to get that on there. So if I do it this way and put the other one underneath where it belongs, push that down. Now there's a little bit sticking out of the bottom. That's so much easier to build it that way. Go on, Lego. What you doing, mate? Okay, so that will be going in somewhere very similar to the other one. Probably in there. Which is kind of cool. Alright, let's just push that one away a little bit. So now we've got, this is the one I've just put in. We've got the one we built before that, and we've got the 2 tall things. And would you be at all surprised to know? Let me try and angle that so you keep seeing the trees. Always doing things backwards. Maybe I should flip the camera image so to me it looks the right way around. You know, just for amusement. See that cat? Dove. Hang on, let me get something that makes noise. That is a blind cat. And look where she's just climbed up to. Crazy cat. Alright then. Okay, we are back on my head. Which might be good, might be bad. Depends on your point of view. Depends whether you like my head. Yes, I know, cat. You can get higher. That's Dove. She's the latest rescue kitten to come into our place. We think she's about 12, 14 weeks old. And she's currently trying not to fall off the cat tree. And failing. She's quite adept at failing. But she's learning really, really, really fast. And it's amazing what she can climb. So this nestles into here now. Just turn him around that way. Looks a little bit more aesthetic. Just balances it a little. Yeah. We're taking a break from trees. And we're now building lanterns. I think they're going to be in almost the same place though. We're building lanterns on sticks now. And this is step number from 173 or 174. And we're going to be building 2 of these. So separate out the assemblies just like usual. Cat's going to jump up here now because she can hear the sounds of the Lego moving around. So in a moment, if there's Lego everywhere and I'm looking just a little bit grumpy, you'll know what happened. She's thinking about it. She's trying to find a way up here. Do you guys want to meet Dove? She's found a box of Lego underneath my feet. So just make the second lantern. Hello to Tuscan Productions. welcome. I trust you're enjoying watching this build. Now, these go near the bridge. One there, and one there. And I'm not sure where she's actually gone. She'll come for this toy. Okay, Dove's going to help. So, this is Dove. Look at the camera, Dove. She's got no idea what a camera is, because of course, she's blind. But she's very enthusiastic. I'll have to keep a bit of an eye on her, because there's no grip whatsoever on this little glass table that she's sitting on right now. And she's very, very adventurous. So she'll get into trouble if I leave her and not pay attention to her. So most of the other things that she climbs on have a way down, so even if she's hanging from 1 foot or something like that, she's pretty safe. Whereas this thing is not really the case. Okay, so we're making these little poles, which... Okay, now I see what's going on. He's quite tall. So this one goes over near the trees and slots in there. And this other one is a little bit shorter. And it's a little bit different. So of course we're using Star Wars parts. She's found something to play with. It's very good to have her helping. Very handy. And this one goes in on the side of the bull by the looks of things. So there's one gone in there, and the other one's over here under the trees. Not quite sure what she's found. She's found a little bell. Alright, it's time to build our string of lanterns. Now, every time she hears the noise, I just know that we're going to end up with Lego all over the place in a minute. And then it'll take me ages to find the bits. So maybe I should try and do this quietly. There she goes. She's coming in for the kill. She's a cute little thing, but she's kind of annoying sometimes. Alright, so we're building up some more assemblies, little clips togethers. So there's going to be a bunch of these little ones to be made up. And there's 4 of those, so let's just get those out of the way. She's gone back to her bell now. She's lost interest in the Lego. So we're just making up 4 of these little lantern assemblies. And now we're going to make up some larger lantern assemblies. So there's a couple of these ones to go on. And they're very similar to the ones we've made. She's getting interested again. And now we're making up these ones as well. Thanks for the help, Dove. Good to have you around. No, that's not helpful, mate. If you're going to be here, you got to help. Not wreck stuff. What do you think? So Dove eventually, when she's good enough to go, will be up for adoption through Squishy's Animal Rescue You can find them on socials if you think you could make a good home, supportive home for a blind cat. She's actually pretty independent, gets around, gets into everything, gets in and out of mischief constantly. So she's not really much of a burden on anybody. At the moment, she's stopping me build stuff where you can see it, because she's in the way. Get away, cat. Yeah, this clips in... Yeah, it must clip in that way. Good, you can see what I'm doing. So this is the string of lanterns. Just going to have to reposition some of these a little so that they're actually hanging the right way. There we go, there's our lantern strand. Just reposition that one. It's actually a very effective lantern strand. Dove, you might have to go back on the floor shortly. So I'll tidy those up properly later on, but there's our lantern. Thanks, Dove. There's our lantern strand. So it's quite an effective thing. Looks quite good. Once it's all in place. Next. So I'll probably finish. I'm just going to pop Dove down on the floor. Just getting a little bit too inquisitive for those bits. This one, so I won't be streaming next week, and because I have to be working on the railway next week. But the week after will be likely be the day I finish this build, and then I'm going to start on a really cool one. I'm going to start on the police station from the giant Lego Creator series. It's the pretty full-on one. So that's going to be a massive build. I'm just trying to get these the right way up, because I'm sure if I don't, I'll upset somebody. So, dear people who can read these characters, if I get them wrong, sorry. So what we've done there is we've clipped on these. And we're off to the next one. I'm just going to have to adjust my envelopes a little. She's gone back onto the cat tree now, so she's happily watching, wondering how she can get back onto this desk where all these fascinating noises are happening. So we're going to be making 3 assemblies. I'll just move the board aside. I'll try not to scoot them everywhere. Just divide the parts up, because except when I scoot them everywhere, this makes life easier. These are paint rollers. So generally speaking, people at Lego, pretty clever, because they reuse stuff, and these are Android claws. So the people who are watching along, what kinds of things do you like to build? And how do you build? Do you just try and build it by sight? I do know people that try and do that. So I've just made this little lantern assembly. It clips onto our paint roller. So I'll just quickly make up the other ones of those. It's quite an interesting way to do this. I'm trying to think what the lanterns are. I'm sure I've seen them in some other kit. Not red though. I think I put that on wrong way around. Did indeed. Here we go. Here's the next one. Why is there a massive black bar between the cameras? It's so strange. I think what I might just do, let's just, because I don't use the space so much, let's just put you up there. Let's make you smaller. What is this? Let's just make this one bigger. I see what's going on there. Okay. Well, that was a grand plan, but that didn't quite come off because the other camera hasn't got the right resolution. That's okay. All right, we've got 3 nice lanterns now. So, ooh, and did you spot that? I put one on upside down. Shh, never happened. Didn't happen at all. So we're going to put our lanterns over by the white fence. So there are 3 of these, and they are facing outwards. That's pretty cool. I like that. Really like the way this comes together. It's a really cool kit. When I saw it, I initially wasn't going to buy any more New Year's stuff. And then I saw this one and I thought, that looks absolutely amazing. And I had to have it. Alright, we've got some little more bits to do now. So we're doing steps 148 through 152. And we're putting all of these little things on. So we have a long one and a short one going together, and they clip into each of the lantern poles. And you know what, Lego? This would have been a whole lot easier if we'd done it before. Because if I'd known what you were doing with that, I would have lined them up. Cool. Now you can go on the lantern pole. And back in your slot. Alright, same with you. Let's yank you off there. I'm sure I'm being culturally insensitive here. I think it's this one goes in the middle. And it has... So for the lovely watchers, what kind of things do you guys like to build? Or do you just like watching me build? And lurking. Which is perfectly okay to do if you'd like to do that. I don't mind at all. Yeah, look out. Families yelling at each other upstairs. Yeah, sounds like there's cats involved. Surprise. Being a cat rescue house, there usually is. Okay. So that's given us... Excuse me. I've been talking for the last hour or so. A little dry. This is my Yosemite mug. One of the best places in the world I've ever had the fortune of being able to visit. It is absolutely beautiful. And if you ever get the chance to go there, make sure you do, but don't just go there for a day. You really need to go and stay there for a couple of weeks. Last time I went, I was there for 4 days. I think I saw 10% of the place, if that. So there's plenty to do, plenty to look at. So we're placing a couple of things here. I'm just going to spin this around so it's oriented the right way. This is going in here. I didn't think that was going to go in, but it did. Oh, there's cat fur. Thanks, Dove. She's off amusing herself over at the curtains now. So we're up to 187. And we're starting to build up some stuff. So we've got, I think this is probably part of the gate arch that we're starting to build. Oops. This is why I like glass. You can square things up really nicely. Looks pretty cool. Nice little assembly. And it goes over behind the string of lanterns over here. Cool. I thought we were building the arch, but I guess we're not. We're going to keep building over in that region of the board. So first up, there's 4 of those to go on. Just now we've got these going in here. That's interesting. So that needs to be inset. And we get these ones that change where the next ones connect to. So they're moving the stud into the middle. It's amazing what you can do with these bricks. And now we're building the arch. So it's starting to come together there. Step 190. This has been quite an interesting build so far. I quite like it. Now because I want to line those up, I'm actually going to pull that off there. And same with that side, because when I plonk these on, I want them to be nice and square, not like that. So just pushing it down on the glass squares it up, which looks tons better. Now we've got 2 of these. So we're building out a bit of a shelf. Now these are an interesting part. It's another one I've never encountered before. It's always interesting when you find new things in the kits that you've not had before. And when I get really excited about it, which isn't exactly always, I know, I pop off to things like Bricklink, it's bricklink.com, to try and find out whether it is actually a new part or whether it's just something that's been used somewhere else and I've never seen it before. Okay, more snot bricks. SNOT stands for studs not on top. And I've done those. I just jumped ahead of myself in a step, so I was just making sure I'd actually done the things. It seemed like a logical place to put them without checking, but I wanted to check before I moved on, just to make sure that it really was a logical place to put them. These are a nice piece. I'll just clear that out from underneath so it's clear. Very nice shape. And those are going into the wall. And we've got these, which brings them up to level. And there should be another one of those. Bit more studs not on top action. these holding the fence in, giving it some strength. And we've got some little clamps going on. There we go. That's coming together. Show you the back. And moving on to step 194. Very fast approaching where we'll finish this week, which is just slightly over time. That's okay. Doesn't really matter if this stream runs a little bit late. It's only matters if the one I do before it, which is about train simulation games, runs late, because that impacts this one, whereas I don't run anything after this one. In fact, the very next exciting thing I'm going to do, it's very, very, very exciting, and I don't know how I can contain myself, is I'll probably go and get my washing off the line. That's how exciting Sunday's going to be. Yesterday was a very long but also very nice day. So we're building some assemblies. So we're basically building up these little assemblies. There's two studs there, two of those little bricks, and the support. And I'll build the next one in front of you because I just realized I built that one where you can't see it. So we get two of these, we get two of these, and we get these brick. So these things, I suppose, are technically a slope. I'm sure they've got some other name. So we're building up quite a lot of these to run across the top of the wall here. They look quite effective, I have to say. Let's see if this will work, or will I end up with Lego flying? No, that worked. Might not do that again though, because it worked that time, but that's chancing fate to just flick stuff off into the universe. And as anybody who plays with Lego knows, the only time... Did that go? Caught it. The only time you find missing Lego is at about 3 o'clock in the morning, in the dark, with bare feet. Of course, that only helps you find the pointy ones. Because the round bits, well, they just tend to vanish. They usually end up as food for the vacuum cleaner. So we're moving over to this side now. Still building the same thing though. So I'm not going to show you too much of the build of these because it's just a little bit repetitive. They do clip together easily though. You don't have to worry about straightening them up because they pretty much straighten themselves up. And they look very cool. See if I can provoke a reaction in the chat. What do you think of the prices that you have to pay for Lego? And no reaction. I personally find Legos quite expensive. Cat's having a lot of fun over there. She's stalking the carpet. Alright, so let's just show you that. Looks quite cool. Actually, I might show you on this camera because it's just going to be nicer. You can see how that has come together. Looks pretty cool. You can see the amazing colours of this set. All the things that move and move around. The lantern string over the bull. And if you poke the bull in the arse, this is funny, watch. So you do literally, see, you poke it in the butthole. I'm sure plenty of 8-year-olds have a giggle at that one. Okay, now we're on to the next step, which is 196. So that's 194 and 195, surprisingly. And this one, looks like we're building... okay, I see what they've done. Alright, so I thought we were starting to build the same thing again, but on another step, but we're actually not. So I do see why they've separated these. It's very hard to see the black ones, isn't it? So this is going to go here. Now we're building the same thing, but the other way around. A little loaf of bread on there. It's disappeared. There we go. Got you back. You get very good at catching things with other parts of your body when you're mucking around with Lego. So we've started off the arch there. Just finishing that off now, so we're going to go across the top and join them up. Just be a little bit gentle here. Alright, that fits in quite well. And where do these little beasties go? I see. Another part that they are reusing from some other kit. It's a hinge. It's the bottom part of a hinge. So it'll be interesting to see what they put into the hinge, if anything, or if it's just decorative. Yeah, we're going to make the gate round now. So Lego's blocky, pardon the pun. But there are ways to make it seem like it's a lot more round than it really is. And you're seeing, or about to see one of those ways now. So I'm going to show you on the big camera. So you can see we're putting these round tiles on. I'll just pop on the last one and I'll show you again. It makes an amazing difference because it took something that was quite square and makes it quite round, which is cool. So if people tell you can't make round things out of squares, obviously they're not quite right. So this is one of these little ingot things, and it's going to clip in here. And another way to make things seem rounder than they are and create impossible shapes in Lego is with hinges, just like these are. So these little pieces are just clipping in, except when they slide like that one did, and they make a shape that you can't make in Lego, which is cool, because now you can. Well, very fast approaching the end of book one, and very fast approaching the end of this stream. I have a little bit of build left to do, so we're nearly there. So I've got 2 concurrent viewers today, which is very cool. Thank you for joining in. And there's quite a lot of people watching on playbacks who have been watching from the start. Certainly appreciate you guys as well. And if you'd like to watch live, next week there will not be a Lego stream on next Sunday. But on the Sunday after that, there will be. And I will hopefully be finishing this one next Sunday. We'll see. I'm not quite 100% certain what's left in the kit. So I haven't been through it and looked properly just yet. These are interesting. The pieces I'm putting on seem to be a little bit different to what's in the picture. It might just be the angle they did the picture. We shall see. We shall see. Now we're going to put on a whole lot of little loaves of bread. Clip. Clip. So this is made of railway pieces. And I think they're going to clip into the hinge. Now I get it. Now it's what the hinges on top of the gate are for. So this will end up being the terracotta roof, except it's black, so it's not terracotta. And I've got our little corner pieces, but I've got to do something to the corner pieces before I put them on there, I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. Just trying to make sure I get this the right way round, because the directions aren't quite making complete sense. I'm getting there in the end, though. I think that's what they want me to do. It's a bit hard to tell from their angles that they've done there. We'll see how it looks when it goes on, won't we? Okay. Next little sack of magic. And this is how I know we're getting near the end of the build, because apart from the fact my box of little sacks of magic is almost empty, I've also changed to the other sack of magic because I ran out of the other kind. Now, try not to use too many of them because it would be disharmony in the household. So I hope you're enjoying watching the build of 80107 Spring Lantern Festival, which is a celebratory piece for the Lunar New Year, for all of those different cultures that celebrate this. So now we're using, I think these might be Batman pieces, and bullhorns. And I just heard the vacuum cleaner upstairs is starting to fire up. So hopefully you guys can't hear that. I think this is meant to go on its side. So I just need to turn that. If you guys can hear the vacuum cleaner upstairs, I apologise. Just trying to see my VU meters to see whether you can, but unfortunately I've got a camera sitting on top of them. Oh, that's an interesting piece. And I'm guessing that'll clip into the hinge. But which way round though? That way? Okay. That sounded pretty positive. And that looks quite cool as well. Bring it up to the big camera. So that's quite a nice addition, really. If anybody's wondering about my background, no, I'm not actually in New York. It is just a big screen, but I've certainly been there. Been several times. It's one of my favourite cities in the world, and I very much look forward to being decovenated so I can go back again, because I do very much miss my friends that live there. So we're making some more little lanterns to clip in here and there. No shortage of lanterns in this particular build. And they're quite nice to see. I've just got to be careful to line them up properly. I hadn't really realised how awful that webcam was until I'm looking at the image on a much larger scale today, and it is quite pox. So I think I need to get something better for future streams. So I'll make that happen when it's financially viable, which is not right now. unless someone wants to buy me one. And just to be clear, I am joking. I'm not asking for someone to buy me a webcam. Alright, this is looking pretty cool. So we're building a light. Would you be at all surprised to know there's some more lanterns on the light? So let's just put that bit on. It's interesting watching the live versus the not live stream. Is I'm just trying to get this right way around, that way I think, because I see stuff quite a bit before you do, because the streams don't quite run live. Thank you very much for the likes, the people who have dropped likes on this. I really appreciate that, because it helps me to understand what you like to watch. So if you're enjoying yourselves and you're enjoying my frivolous banter, that makes me happy. I do have a small favour to ask, and I'll drop a link in the chat when we finish these bits. Even if you're not interested in Train Simulator streams, I have another channel, which, as you can probably guess, is about gaming, and it's about train simulators predominantly, although I probably will put other games on there as well occasionally. There are in fact some Lego games, for example. I need about 20 more people to subscribe to that so that I can apply for and obtain a custom Earl. So at the end of this session, when I've finished the build, which is, we're almost there. This is up to step 218, and we're doing 218 and 219 today. I'll pop a link in. So if you wouldn't mind, even if it's just a temporary one, giving me a subscription just so long enough that I can get the custom Earl, that would be amazing. I was trying to do something funny then. Did you see that? I was trying to connect some pieces that could not be connected. Clever, huh? Now what have they done? Okay, let's see. That goes on there. The bone goes through the leaf, and the leaf goes... Sounds like the family's moving around upstairs. Now, where's this black thing? Okay, so it sticks out over this fence. That makes sense. I was trying to see how that stuck out over the front fence, but it couldn't. That's okay. Oops. Okay, doing well. So these pits, I think, are probably... These are probably out of the Friends series. And they've come from Lego Creator. Just judging by the colours. Because Lego have fallen into the trap, like so many toy manufacturers, of making colours for girls and colours for boys. And I am absolutely certain that most of the world knows that that's crap and that it shouldn't be like that. It should be the same for everyone. And this one sticks out over the top fence, so that's what got me confused. But this is so awkward though. No, and I broke it. And I broke it again. I'm going to pull that off there because I'm going to build it over here where I can in fact put it together properly and then put it on the main board because it's such a delicate thing. And my big fat fingers tend to smash things that are delicate. just kind of what I do. So that's it for this part of the build. That's what we've done for this week. And just recapping, there won't be a live stream next week. So next week we'll be building up all the, actually I use this one. We're building up all the other parts of this. So we've got this pagoda to make. Looks like we have another gateway to make on the other side. And there's a little red figure to come into it. There's a bunch more decoration happening. So it looks like it's going to be a fun build for the next one. And that will be in 2 weeks' time. So it'll be on Sunday. It'll be at the same time. So whatever time that is, no matter where you are in the world now, it'll be the same time because we're still on daylight savings time. We're not changing for about another 3 weeks, I think. We'll change over. So I hope you liked this. Now let me just get you that link. Just move this keyboard. And I'll just cut off. I'll just cut this cam off. Excuse my fingers. Oops, wrong cam. I want to cut that off. There we go. So we've gotten rid of that one. Just get that out of the way without breaking everything. And let's just make me bigger. Wow! That's a big ugly face. Hope you're expecting that. And let me just grab you the link. So I know it's a big ask, but if you wouldn't mind doing it, if you haven't, I only need, I can't type, you know that? And we just get this for you. I've got 79 subscribers on this other channel right now, and I just need 21 more. Only 21 more. You can probably hear it now. It's starting to play. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, that would be really cool. Even if you hate trains, I just appreciate the sub. And after I get over my 100 and I get the custom Earl, if you hate trains, you can always take your sub off there. And if you don't tick the little bell, you'll never know anyway, so it won't matter. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. We've got a whole bunch of people watching as a playback who started a little bit after the stream started, and I've had a few people join for the entire stream, and I hope you enjoyed watching that. I've enjoyed putting it together for you. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time. So on the 21st in Australia, which will probably be the 20th in many other parts of the world because we are ahead in the dateline. How scary is that? We're in your future. Anyway, it's a bye from me. And I'd say bye from Dove, but she's wandered off somewhere. Quite happy. But anyway, enjoy yourselves. Have a lovely rest of your day. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time to do the next part of this build, which I was just having a quick look at the kit. I'm not sure whether it's actually going to finish it or if there's going to be 2 more weeks in this one, so we'll see. There does seem to be a fair bit in the next bit, so we'll have a look at that and we'll work it out when the time comes. Thank you very much for watching and have a great one.